Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. 4-1 on Patreon last week. 3-2 on the money picks on YouTube. We're coming. This will be an avalanche all season. Let's get to week 3. We got the Kansas City Chiefs on the road at the Indy Colts. Chiefs are -6.5. I got the Chiefs to win in the cover. Last week when I saw Pittman out for the Colts, I immediately went to Patreon and slung the Jags and changed my pick. That's how important he is to this team, and it looks like he's banged up. He's going to be questionable this week. Either way, the Colts don't have enough weapons to keep pace with the Chiefs. I know -6.5 is a lot. I know you got Jonathan Taylor and a good Colts offensive line on the other side, but let's be honest about something. When you're down 20-0 in the first half, you can't really get the run game going, and this offensive line of the Colts has been pushed around. Another good thing about the Chiefs, we can talk about Mahomes, we can talk about Big Red Andy Reid, and I like how Juju is fitting in here, but I'm surprised by this defense. They're coming out, they're blitzing, they're playing physical. Spagnuolo has these dudes running around well. I got the Chiefs to win in the cover. I think they win this game by 10 points. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Saints are -3. Money, money, money! Money! Listen, I would bet this chain on the Saints to win this ball game. If anyone watched that Saints-Giants film, I know I'm maybe one of the only people in the country who watched that. Listen, that game was ugly. Baker Mayfield played ugly, but he's also not getting a lot of help from the coaching staff, from the wide receiving core. And then, the Panthers are at home. Sure, that helps. But then you get the Saints defense that is hard-hitting, good in the secondary, coming in, rolling in a must-win game for the Saints. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I think the Saints will take the field with a certain amount of presence, a certain amount of anxiety to win. And I know the Saints offense didn't look good last week, but can we give the Bucs defense their flowers a little bit? No one wants to do that. They didn't want to do it last year. They didn't want to do it this year. I think the Saints get more stuff moving on offense. This will be a low-scoring game. I just think the Saints defense balls out. Saints winning the cover, make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Houston Texans, Dougie Mills, at the Chicago Bears. Texans are +3. I'm going upset. Texans to win in the cover. Last week we had the Packers as a money pick, and the Bears came back down to reality. Is there a more careful offense in this league than the Bears team? They're afraid to throw the ball because I think they're afraid to pass protect, and they know these wide receivers can't help Justin Fields. Newsflash, this Texans defense is better than it was last year. Newsflash, Dougie Mills will sling this thing. He's not great. I'm not trying to sell you snake oil by any means, but I think Lovey and Dougie come in here on a mission. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be ugly. This isn't one for the kids to watch, but Texans winning the cover in Soldier Field. Let's hope it's not like a pure mud surface for pigs. If it's a decent surface, go with the Texans. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Steelers +5. I got the Steelers to cover, Browns to win. Now, there will be reverberations from that Browns meltdown in the second half. If you bet that game, I would not get down upon yourself. That is something you just can't control, and that's a colossal collapse, unforced collapse, in my opinion. The Steelers team, they just don't make enough big plays. They got good wide receivers, but every pass is 3, 4, 5 yards. They got a good tight end, but they don't know how to use any of these people. And I'm not saying you put Kenny Pickett and it's going to be any better. I think Matt Canada is scared of this offensive line. I think the Steelers' defense keeps this game close. I think they pack the box, make Jacoby throw it. Now, the Steelers' run D hasn't been great. Let's be honest about it. Go back to last year, even at times during the Patriots game, they weren't good, but I think they respond here. Tomlin will have something cooked up. Browns win this game late. Should be a good game on Thursday night. The quarterbacks aren't. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. Thank you, Dolphins. Bills -6. I got the Fins to cover and the Bills to win. And I took a lot of flack last week for picking the Dolphins to win in the cover. And you could say it was a little bit of luck, but I don't think so. This team is for real, and they got dogs on the outside. And this Miami secondary will play better. It's not going to be a repeat performance of what the Ravens did to them. That was a lot of scheme-related things. I think the Bills see a lot tighter coverage. Now, will the Dolphins get a pass rush? I don't think so. That's why the Bills will win this ball game. But the secondary will keep the Bills in check. This isn't going to be Josh Allen running around like it's Little League football slanging it. It's going to be tighter windows. It's going to be a more physical game than the Titans brought forth. And when I'm looking at this Dolphins offense, listen, I know the Bills love to put those two guys in the A-gap. I don't know if the Dolphins are the team to do that with how they spread this field and hit you with quick passes. Then they'll go deep. I love the Dolphins attack. I think they get the run going this game. They were pretty good last week getting the run going. Dolphins cover, Bills win. I know everyone's saying Bills are going to cover 17-0. I'm just not with that. Give me the Dolphins to cover, Bills win. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. Ravens are -3. Money, money, money! Money! Ravens to win in the cover. And you guys thought I didn't like the Ravens because I didn't pick against them last week. No. I just like the Dolphins, but I love the Ravens this week. I loved the schematics that they had on offense. And I think they're really going to push this Patriots defense around. Now, we know the Patriots are good at keeping run fits, but the secondary is makeshift. Lamar's going to make more plays than Mac. Mac Jones played good against the Steelers. There wasn't a lot of open guys to throw to, but the kid played good and he battled. I just think the Ravens come in, they go into Foxborough with a little bit of attitude, a little bit of gusto. They fix the problems in the secondary. Ravens winning the cover. I really like this matchup for the Ravens. This was a no-brainer to me. Make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Jets. Bengals are -4.5. I'm digging this trench. I'm not the biggest Bengals lover, but I got them to win in the cover. I think -4.5 is a bit low. Now, we know Mike White beat them in the Meadowlands last year. I'm not trying to brush over anything along those lines, but I think the Bengals, we finally get a response from them. I mean, the season's damn near on the line. I know they're only one game back in the AFC North, but let's be honest, if they lose this game, the season is kind of just completely deconstructed in front of their living eyes. Listen, this Jets team, they didn't play good against the Browns. Yes, they had a good last 2 minutes, but I think those were more Browns' mistakes. I'm not trying to take anything away from Flacco. Those throws were funny to watch, and they were dimes. But at the end of the day, the Bengals got more firepower. I think the Bengals rushed the passer better than the Browns did. Bengals winning the cover, although that Cowboys game was frightful, so don't make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell at my Minnesota Vikings. Lions are +6.5. Money. Borderline money pick. I cannot bet against my own team, but with 6.5, give me the Lions to cover. Give me the Vikings to win. Last week we hit the money pick with the Lions. I just think they're a team that's going to keep games close. And I know the Vikings are going to play a lot better at home than they did against the Eagles. It's not me overreacting to what the Vikings did against the Eagles, but that soft coverage of Minnesota, I just don't think it's going to fly. Goff, listen, he's not a gunslinger. I'm not trying to come in here and tell you he's a good quarterback, but these receivers, Chark and St. Brown, are getting separation. I think they carry this Lions offense, and I'm not so sure that the Lions run game doesn't get open. I think Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook have something to say about the Lions winning this game, but give me the Lions to cover, make it a money pick, borderline money pick. I'm not a fan of betting against my Vikings, but this Lions team, we've been on them all year. They rewarded our pockets last week. I think it's another close game. You gotta love Dan Campbell. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Tennessee Titans. Raiders are -1.5. I'm going Raiders here, and there isn't a lot of science. I did predict the Titans would struggle this year. I did predict we would see Malik Willis. I just didn't know we would see him so early. I think the Raiders win this game. Now, listen, they played good in the first half against the Cardinals, and they self-destructed in the second half. McDaniels wasn't on the same wavelength with Carr. Listen, I think the Raiders will stop the run. The way to attack the Raiders is to throw the rock against them. I don't think the Titans are throwing the rock too much against anyone with Tannehill and without A.J. Brown. Raiders stack the box. They contain Henry. Henry will have a bounce-back game, but they will contain him. Raiders winning the cover on the road. We will be seeing Malik Willis as a starter this year. It's a matter of if, not when. It's a matter of when, not if. My bad. Next game, and make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Go to my Patreon, $5 a month. I was 4-1 on there last week. Let's get this money. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Seattle Seahawks. Falcons are +2.5. Money, money, money! Money! Falcons winning the cover. Falcons winning the cover. And I know this is a garbage game, and you're saying, Lawson, like, come on, man. This is like the degenerate game of the week, bro. Like, do you need to bet this? Yes, we do. Arthur Smith always has good game plans. And we know Mariota's not doing much. And we know the Falcons have their defensive issues, but they always had to have a good offensive game plan. I think Cordell Patterson has a big game. I think he goes over 100 yards. And like I said last week when I had San Fran to cover against the Seahawks, I feel like the Seahawks blew their load against the Broncos. It was beautiful. It was a legendary win on Monday night, but it's 1 week. I just think Mariota makes more plays than Geno Smith, and I think that's what it comes down to. Falcons run the ball better. We'll see which defense plays better. Both are about even. Falcons winning the cover, and the money pick is in the +2.5. I like Falcons with that. I know this is a hard home field advantage, and I don't like betting against the Seahawks at home, but this Falcons team will be out for blood after that Rams loss. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington No-Names. Eagles are -4.5. I went back and forth on this one. I got the Eagles to win in the cover. Conventional wisdom says, yes, at FedEx, Washington will play pretty good. Washington had good moments against the Lions, although they had catastrophic moments. But I think this Eagles team runs the ball down their throat. Last night you saw Hurts go off. Hurts looked like Josh Allen against my Minnesota Vikings. I think this week we see the Eagles get more grimy. We see more running. We see more play action. And I don't know if Washington can handle that. And I don't know if this Washington team is down for the fight. And did I mention Carson Wentz is going to give you 1 or 2 turnovers? Listen, Washington really should be able to cover this, but I don't think they will. Eagles winning the cover, even with it at -4.5 on the road. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags. Lawrence at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -7. I got the Chargers to win in the cover. That's if Herbert plays. Yes, Patreon users, it was fun dipping into the Jags money pot last week against the Colts, but we have to change our mind. We have to change our vision. And if Herbert plays, they're going to blow this Jags secondary away. They just are. And when you see Herbert, you see a guy who can make 3, 4, 5 reads on a play, and not many dudes can do that in this league. The Jags play a lot of lazy cover too. Against Herbert, you really have to get up in the man. I don't think they got the dogs capable of it. Plus, this Jags offensive line is better, but I don't think they're ready to deal with. I don't think the Jags O-line is ready to deal with the Chargers D-line. Give me the Chargers with the 7 points if Herbert plays. Be careful on that one. You don't want to be betting on Chase Daniel. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are -2.5. Money. Listen carefully. Bucs to win and to cover. But you have to watch this injury report. Julio Jones might not play. Mike Evans is suspended. Chris Godwin is questionable. Chris Godwin needs to play for this to have a chance. I want to see Julio Jones out there and Chris Godwin. But let's be real about something. Even if they don't play, I think this Bucs defense plays better than the Packers offense. And this Packers offense, yes, they won us money against the Bears. Yes, they looked a little bit better. They ran the ball pretty damn well. Let's give them credit. I just don't know how many big plays are in the Packers, especially when you look at this Tampa Bay defense. And I've watched every single game of this NFL season. And for me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense has been the most impressive defense by far. I think this is a defensive football game. I like the under on this. You'll see that video coming. Was 4-4 last week. Bucs win this game. Borderline money picks. Just wait till you see the injury report. I do this Tuesday morning. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Denver Broncos. Right now, it's 49ers -1. I got the 49ers to win in the cover. I got to stick to my fundamentals. Stuck to my fundamentals last week, and the 49ers rewarded me. You would think there would be a response from Hackett and the Broncos. You would think that, right? Not so fast, my friend. I don't think Russell Wilson is the quarterback the media makes him out to be. Nathaniel Hackett is the whipping boy, and he deserves a few lashes. But Russell Wilson isn't playing good enough, y'all. He just isn't. And when I see this 49ers defense, I see a front seven that will not let you breathe. I see a front seven that will not let you establish the run. Jerry Jeudy's dinged up. I mean, without Jerry Jeudy, I'm just not seeing how Courtland Sutton can carry this all on his shoulders. Jimmy G is back, and listen, when he came trotting out, I'm not trying to be sappy or melodramatic here, but you felt a little bit of gusto coming in. You felt a little bit of energy in Deebo Samuel in that offensive line. There isn't a lot of science in that, but I felt it. 49ers winning the cover, play action pass against the Broncos. This Broncos defense is another thing that was overrated during the offseason. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Zona Cardinals. Rams -4. Rams win, Cards cover. This is a tough one because the Cards played the Cards played 7 quarters of terrible football, came out and played 2 quarters of good football in that 4th and overtime against the Raiders. The Rams did not look good against the Falcons. And I'm not just saying that late block punt or anything like that. They didn't look good, but one positive was them getting Allen Robinson involved. We've been calling for it. You gotta love to see it. I think the Rams win this game by a field goal. I am a little bit concerned, though. Will the Rams be able to run this ball? If they run the ball well, they're gonna cover this easy. I think they'll have some problems. Start running it better in the second half. Kyler's gonna make plays. Rams win. Cards cover the +4. Next game and last game of the week. Monday Night Football. Not the best game on the slate. We got the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. Giants are -2.5. I'm going the Giants -2.5 by default. I wasn't impressed with their film against the Panthers. I was impressed week 1 against the Titans, but wasn't impressed against the Panthers. That was terrible performance by both teams. But I'm rolling the dice here. We're playing craps in the side alley, and I'm just saying, Cooper Rush win 2 games in a row. Cooper Rush beat an improved Giants defense. I like this Giants defense. Now, Leonard Williams did limp off late in that Panthers game. I'm a little bit concerned about that. But I think the Giants stop this run. And if it's on Cooper Kupp's shoulders, I think this Giant secondary can win a lot of battles. Now, I know it looks like Gallup might be back this week. I don't think he will. I think that's more Jerry Jones talk. Giants win this game. Let's see if they can get Saquon going. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Thank you for joining me.